So welcome to the open day today. There'll be an opportunity for you to ask some questions while the talk's actually going on. So if you want to use the Q&A, you can put those in there. So you can ask throughout the sessions. Just before we start, just to let you know, there are also a lot of other pathway talks going on today as well. So you will be able to access them at different times. And once the session's finished, it will be uploaded to the college website next week, and you'll be able to revisit that or revisit any of the other talks that you would like to attend. Okay, what I'd like to do now, I'm just going to progress, and I'm going to introduce you to Semra, who's going to do a little bit of a talk about why study at NUVEC. Semra.
Hello everybody, my name is Semra. I studied mathematics at NUVEC. First of all, why you would want to study at NUVEC, I can tell you now that there's diverse amounts of subjects you can pick from. In addition to that, it is a diverse place to be. It's a massive sixth form college, and I don't imagine you to be in another place where you could find the diversity other than this place.
Okay, Semra, did you want to talk a little bit more about the support and things that people can get?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We've got subject experts in the fields that they do. We've also got a variety of extracurricular activities from mathematics to sports, so you can attend those in your spare time. I think that's about it for now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're just moving on to some of the entry requirements for the different types of qualifications we've got here at NUVEC. And Malcolm, would you like to say a little bit about those?
Okay, so hello, I'm Malcolm. I've been teaching at NUVEC for several years now, since 2016. We require people to have a good grounding in relevant subjects, obviously geography itself, but also English and maths are very, very helpful. We're looking for grade 5 in those subjects particularly. Obviously, higher grades are beneficial, but if you have a grade 5, then that should be sufficient grounding for what you need to do. Also, it's not absolutely essential that you have had geography at GCSE. If you have a real interest in the subject and the kind of topics it covers, which include all sorts of aspects of the surface, both human and physical elements, then that can be sufficient grounding as well.
Okay, Malcolm, can I just ask?
Do you want to say more?
Yeah, Malcolm, can I just ask you to switch your camera off a bit there, please? You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, do you want me to say more, or?
Can you just switch your camera?
Can you all hear me?
That might help.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, try again.
Can you hear me, everyone?
That's better, yeah.
The quiz now?
Yeah, that's much clearer.
Switch my camera. Right, can you hear me better now? Again from the start or not? Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of entry requirements for geography specifically, then yeah, if you have a GCSE at 5 or higher in geography, that's ideal requirements met. But you don't necessarily have to have that. If you have a real interest in the subject and you've got a good range of other GCSEs that are relevant, I would include English, maths, sciences, even history, then that would also be a good grounding from which to embark upon the subject.
Nazir and Semra, you're both maths teachers. What are you looking for when students come to college if you want to study maths? Nazir, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, definitely. Essentially, we first and foremost, we kind of like require that if you choose maths as an option, it's it's establishing the fact that you love the subject and you intend to pursue the subject. Because at the start, I would want to be very frank to say there is a huge gulf between GCSE maths and A-level maths. And let me just drop it here now. That this is the drop, okay? A-level maths is challenging. it requires quite a bit of hard work. So the first element you must possess before we even start talking about your qualification is your attitude to the subject, because A-level maths requires a lot of independence, a lot of maturity. By all means, we're there to support you. There is an immense support system in place if at all you need one. We are all passionate teachers in the department. We are willing to see our students progress. We are willing to push you to the very extreme and see you succeed. We've had a track record of producing one of the finest students in the borough. I'm not, without any exaggeration. You could check out the facts yourself. And so we want to make sure that you are willing to cooperate with us once you start the course. The minimum requirement really is a 7, albeit we have, well, in the past, created a system where students who are really passionate about mathematics are given the requisite support at the very start. So if you think you had a 6, you probably would have had a 7 with a bit more support in secondary school. We could start by giving you a test when you come in and see if your algebraic skills specifically, because algebra is seen as one of the strongest backbones of the subject. So if math is your option, you know, by all means, get in touch and we'll start from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just for the maths, isn't it, Nazir? You need 8 minimum.
Yes, for the math, you need 8 a minimum. But also, I need to just chip in a little bit more there. That when we say math, I don't want you to just think about the pure aspect. There are 3 branches of the mathematics you have to look at. We have to look at the pure maths, look at statistics and mechanics. Now, we also offer statistics as an A-level course. Okay, this is essentially for students who think, oh, well, perhaps I don't really need the entirety of A-level maths. I just need the course I want to study at uni has more of statistical background in it. So that opportunity also would be offered, because we offer start as a package, as an A-level course. But also there is a course called Core Maths, and that's for those whose course they want to study. Perhaps they're studying a BTEC course. They just need a little bit of mathematics to guide them. Okay, maybe they're doing some financial services. They don't need the entirety of maths. We also provide Core Maths, which is a 1-year course, and the content of it are essentially statistics, finance. So there is a lot of provision in place already at advanced level to cater for all your needs, if at all you need to have maths as a background.
Okay, thank you, Nazir. We're just going to move on now to have a look at some of the different potential students' routes to some of the different qualifications and different degrees that they could pursue. Malcolm, you're going to talk a little bit about environment professionals.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So geography is a very broad subject. Its strength is that it covers diverse aspects of the surface of the earth, and it can lead you into all sorts of different combinations with other subjects. My friends who I did geography with many years ago have ended up in things as diverse as transport management, marketing. One of them has become a professor of a university in town planning. So there's a variety of different courses specific to geography that will take you to specifically geographical careers. But in addition to that, many other employers, for example, after university, are looking for people who have demonstrated powers of data analysis, critical thinking, and ways of understanding the interrelationship between different aspects of our current world in this kind of integrating way. So it has a broader role in that respect as well. So in terms of routes into higher education, there are all sorts of different combinations available at university, from single honours to joint honours. Sometimes geography is classed as a BA, sometimes it's classed as a BSc. That usually reflects a different kind of balance within the particular course structure that you choose to follow, whether it's more scientific and looking at the physical features of the Earth's surface, or more into the kind of economic and social aspects of the subject towards urban planning and transport management, that kind of thing. So you do need to do a lot of research as to which particular further routes you would embark upon if you do decide to follow geography as a degree. That's also true of maths and any other degree level subject for that matter, because there's a great deal of variety out there in terms of the specific detail of the course structure that you follow.
I think that's sorry, Malcolm, just to quickly interrupt there. I think we can see the strengths of the requirements of geography and mathematics across the range of these degrees, and how important both of the subjects are. Now let's have a quick look at the physical scientists. If you could just have a few comments about that, please.
Okay, so the A-level that is presented at NUVIC is quite similar to other exam boards A-levels, but it is actually Edexcel. And the physical aspects of the world that you'll be looking at if you study A-level geography here at NUVIC are things like the energy and carbon cycle and the water cycle. These are really, really of current vital importance to everyone on the planet at the moment. If you've heard of the issues around climate change and all the pressures on changing how we live our lives in terms of the way we drive our cars, the way we power our cities and so on, then it is virtually every day there's something happening in the news which is directly linked into something in the course. So energy and carbon, energy sources, water resources. We also look at materials that you may have come across before at school, such as plate tectonics, earthquakes, volcanoes, and a specific look at changing coastlines. All of these interrelate to each other as well as relating to other subjects outside of geography. And they're all of very great relevance to our modern world.
Excellent. Okay. Just going to quickly move on to the masterclass here. There's a few questions that we've got to pose to some of the students. Malcolm, if you'd just like to quickly run through those, if that's okay.
Okay, so the answers are going to be on the next slide, everyone, so don't panic, but just to kind of get you thinking, really, which major country in the world announced in September that it aimed to achieve carbon neutrality before 2060? This surprised some people. Everyone is now thinking about the future, about where we will be, how we're going to survive as a human race on the planet, and how we use energy is really important. So one of these countries announced that they were going to absolutely go for being carbon neutral by 2060. Which one was it? The next question is looking at our current pandemic that the whole world is suffering from. So which organization of the three mentioned there has offered financial help for over 80 countries? So you've got the choice of an International Monetary Fund, which is a world financial institution, FIFA, or the World Wildlife Fund. Question 3 is asking you a specific question about one country. The coronavirus has led to the collapse in demand for which particular major export from the country of Bangladesh? And you've got 3 options there: oil, clothing, or timber. And number 4 is, because of its leadership, North Korea has little or no contact with the outside world. And what it is therefore known as, what kind of country is it classed as in the way we look at it? Is it called engaged, emergent, or switched off? And lastly, which of these multinationals has announced major job cuts because of the crisis? I'll give you the options of Google, Zoom, or British Airways. So there are your questions, just either in your head or just jot down something on a piece of paper, and all will be revealed on the next slide.
All will be revealed in just a second. Semra and Nazir, did you want to have a go at any of those questions while we're here?
I did, absolutely. I hope it's not a shambles what I've put down here, Malcolm. Can I give my answers to you?
Go for it.
I don't know. I don't know what you think. I've gone for China for the first one.
Do you want me to reveal now? Or?
I don't know.
I'll reveal in a second. But
Okay. China sounds like a strong answer there.
IMF for the second one.
Okay, that also sounds strong to me. Yeah.
Clothing.
Equally strong.
Switched off.
Yep, accurate.
British Airways.
And British Airways, yeah, all correct. You get 100%.
Brilliant.
Gold star.
Okay, Nazir, what about you?
I'll go with Semra.
You go with- Okay, let's have a look. Very good, Semra. Excellent.
Thank you. I still got it, Malcolm.
Excellent.
Okay, but it's an interesting range of questions, and I think it really shows the diversity of the content that is certainly covered in geography, but also wider subjects as well. So, okay, very quick one about what's so interesting about geography.
Do you want me to talk to this as well? Or?
Yeah, just very quickly, Malcolm.
Yeah, I won't read it all out because you can see it in front of you.
Yeah.
But as I've already said, it is the kind of variety which is attractive to many people. At the moment, for example, I'm doing a unit with the A2 students on superpowers, which doesn't mean Marvel comics and Batman. It means the geopolitics of the world with China, the United States, Russia and other powers and how they interrelate. And that's one extreme. The other extreme will be looking at how cities are changing, what's happening on coastlines, what's happening with the climate and how that's changing. So it is really very, very varied in terms of its content. I think I touched on the next point before, but geography is really always changing, always kind of up to the minute, as always being referred to as someone in the news, and it's going to equip you in all sorts of ways for different aspects of your future life. So it is a very wide range of skills you'll achieve and a very wide range of content that we'll be studying.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, preparing for courses. This is a quick one for, it's very geographical focused again. But just a couple of key highlights from that one, Malcolm. Not the whole lot, but just if you could choose two, and then perhaps a couple from Semra about preparing for maths.
I think the preparation for maths is trying to make sure that your algebra is very much up to scratch and that you are keen as a problem solver. So you must have a passion for problem solving, first of all. And secondly, you do enjoy learning new concepts of mathematics and that your algebra should really be top notch. In terms of how you're going to prepare for your GCSEs, it's doing enough exam style questions. Now, I know it can be really demotivating when you haven't got an exam in the summer and you're just preparing yourself to whatever what your school is willing to do to get you the grade that you deserve to get. I encourage that you look at some of the content of A-level and see if you can do those algebra questions and see if you can actually start to self-teach yourself some of the concepts on there. It is self-teachable, some of the topics on there. So try to have a go at that. Maths Genie, I'm sure you know in your maths teachers have been talking to you through it. Looking at exam revision questions, okay? And make sure that you prep yourself back and forth. Nazir, do you want to add anything else on there?
I think you've highlighted some very key points there. I think one of my own piece I want to add there is to operate beyond contentment, because at this time, some schools would have given grades already. If you happen to be working on grade 7 and you think that's what you're going to get at the end of the day and you want to do A-level maths, I think just as Semra said, you need to go beyond the extra. You need to do a bit more on your own individual, especially on your algebraic skills, because that's what you need at the very start, even to the very end of your A-level. Your algebraic skills must be in place. So yes, you are quite right, Semra, on that one.
Thank you.
One of the things here that sort of struck me about what Malcolm said and what both Semra and Nazira said is around problem solving. And both subjects, that's a really important skill that you need to develop, isn't it, Malcolm, for geography as well?
Absolutely. And one of the other aspects I'd like to kind of draw attention to is try to really feed your curiosity about whatever subjects you're studying. Obviously geography, but I'm sure the same applies to maths. There's a whole world out there to become enthusiastic about and to find out about, and never has it been easier to access information, access ideas, and and grow in your head about what you understand about the world in its variety.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Sorry there. No, if I think looking back, if I was to be studying, picking up A levels now, I would pick geography because it is the new generation sort of problems we're coming up with. It's sustainability and environmental sustainability is becoming more and more current in our news. So I think geography is very much essential for the future of the next generation.
Okay, brilliant.
Can I pick up maths then very briefly as well then? Maths is just such a vital kind of facility in unpicking all sorts of aspects of the world, isn't it? Whether it's engineering or science, it just is underlying everything. And it's like the purest form of understanding that you're going to be encountering. So well done, maths.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, everybody. We're coming towards the end of the presentation now. So just to say thank you for the people that have attended for their time to visit us, and just to say that applications to the college are now open. So you can either apply at nuvic.ac.uk/apply. There will also be another session this afternoon specifically about how to apply. So if you look on the college website, you'll see that. This webinar here will be available on the college website next week, along with all of the other ones. So please share them with your friends, access others if you want to explore what your other opportunities are here at NUVIC. But I hope that it's given you an opportunity to sort of get a bit of a flavour for the environment and natural sciences and see how subjects like geography and maths work so closely together. They're so relevant to the world at the moment, or they always have been, but it seems to be sort of the impetus has grown significantly with all of the changes that have happened over the last year. So thank you to the people that have attended, and thank you to Semra and Nazir and to Malcolm for your insight into your subjects. And for the people who are attending, we look forward to seeing you at NUVIC very soon. I'm just going to stop sharing now. So thank you very much for joining us. And just going to say bye for now. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Right.
Bye-bye.